Sergeant Poe's military records did not show he was injured by a grenade in Afghanistan, where he served for just 1 month.
Number 10. Marathon Productions gets sued due to Tyra Banks' alleged conduct. In 2017, AGT host Tyra Banks was accused of some pretty unflattering behavior.
And tonight I have to make you feel uncomfortable. I don't know what it is, but I promised the world that I'd make you feel uncomfortable tonight.
A couple auditioned with a song for their daughter, identified as Mary Doe in the lawsuit, who was backstage. They alleged that Mary was instructed to, quote, act embarrassed and annoyed by her parents' performance. They also called Banks out for apparently, quote, physically manipulating and verbally harassing the minor.
According to the lawsuit, Banks shook her shoulder and pulled her hair back, then later insinuated that the girl was accidentally conceived.
They further claimed that the host mocked the performance in front of their kid and said some pretty rude things, all while cameras were apparently rolling. Her mom sued over the pain caused to her daughter. She also wanted to stop the audition from being televised, though AGT only agreed to edit Mary out.
The contestants' mom and dad begged America's Got Talent not to air the footage, but they're still planning on airing the footage.
The whole thing was apparently dismissed a few days later. Number 9. The Sacred Rihanna's act ends without explanation. Bizarre illusionist The Sacred Rihanna shocked and amazed audiences on the 13th season of the talent contest. Her spooky and sensational acts got her to the quarterfinals. During what would become her final act on the show, she ended her haunting number with a scream, as the screen suddenly went black and cut straight to commercials. As you can imagine, audiences were left utterly baffled, and many demanded answers. It was quite an anticlimactic end to an otherwise intense and captivating performance. According to an AGT spokesperson, it was a planned part of her act. But given several other technical difficulties that night, the confusion was understandable. Still, the choice seemingly hurt Rihanna's chances, and she was eliminated. Number 8. A makeup artist falls through the floor. While working as a makeup artist on the show, Jude Alcala sustained injuries after reportedly falling 6 feet through a gap in the stage floor. He reportedly sued NBC, Psycho Entertainment, and Fremantle Media for negligence, citing that they'd failed to put up any warnings. Apparently, the accident resulted in a broken femur and extensive shoulder damage. Alcala had former AGT judge Sharon Osbourne on his side.
They'd better be. The guy's been sick for over a year. I think it's a disgrace that they ignored him.
She blasted the show for ignoring his claims and not taking responsibility for the accident. Osbourne called it, quote, the worst stage in the entire world, and demanded that someone, quote, pay the price for the incident.
And the worst stage set in the entire world, some guy designed a stage set with a hole in the middle. You know, somebody has to pay the price.
However, we didn't hear much about the case after that. Number 7. Cass Haley spills the backstage tea. This deep into the reality talent contest era, we've become well aware that nothing is exactly as it seems on TV. This was confirmed by Season 2 runner-up Cass Haley, who cut ties with AGT entirely after his appearance. He talked about the commercialism of it all and how uncomfortable he felt with the concept of joke acts. One incident he recalled in particular involved producers allegedly taking advantage of a contestant he claims was roughly 8 years old.
In many different ways. I got to see the difference between fame and success. You know, there's a difference.
He claims they got a room full of people to applaud her as she walked in, as if she'd advanced to the next round when she actually didn't. It seemed like a setup to capture her reaction. That makes you think twice, doesn't it?
I realized that really quickly when I was on the show, that this is really not my thing.
Number 6. NBC Universal, Marathon Productions, and Fremantle Media are sued over fatal accident. AGT producers were sued for the wrongful death of a woman who passed away after sustaining debilitating injuries on their premises.
Are you saying it's dangerous?
It's dangerous for you guys?
For us?
Yeah. What?
In 2017, 79-year-old Maureen Allen arrived to volunteer at an on-site convention. However, the AGT taping equipment that was in the same place made the area inaccessible. This led to her wheelchair getting flipped and her being thrown to the ground.
She ended up breaking her hip and suffering blood clots.
Allen suffered several severe injuries and was hospitalized. She then had a stroke and, after multiple surgeries, was put on life support before sadly passing away a few months later. Her family blamed her untimely death on the incident and took Marathon Productions, NBC Universal, Fremantle Media, and the city of Pasadena to court.
Oh my God!
Number 5. Tim Poe is accused of lying. Singer Tim Poe garnered sympathy in the 7th season with a story about how an injury he sustained in the army left him with a stutter.
I had got hit by a grenade in Afghanistan, and it broke my back and gave me a brain injury, so that's the reason why I stutter a little bit.
However, his tale was refuted by a spokesperson for the National Guard who said there was no evidence of the incident he described.
And the National Guard confirmed that Sergeant Poe's military records did not show he was injured by a grenade in Afghanistan, where he served for just 1 month.
Apparently, the picture shown of Poe serving was of an entirely different soldier. In fact, the man from the photo, Staff Sergeant Norman Bone, said that he didn't know Poe. Others also backed claims disproving the alleged story.
You always wonder in these stories in general, do they think nobody will check?
Eventually, the singer apologized for misleading the public, although he claims it wasn't intentional. Needless to say, many viewers were relieved when he was booted off. Number 4. Nick Cannon's exit. After 8 seasons as a host, Nick Cannon parted ways with America's Got Talent.
Why leave America's Got Talent? It seems like a dream job. Why leave that job? Because it's a job.
In a Facebook post, he explained that the decision came after NBC threatened to fire him over some jokes he told during his Showtime stand-up special. Apparently, they weren't happy with some of the racially charged humor he shared, claiming that it, quote, disparaged their brand. Needless to say, the news caused quite a splash, with people curious to know more about what unfolded behind the scenes.
When people start to put restraints on my creativity, as an artist, I just have to stand on my square and stand for something.
Cannon expressed that he walked away because he refused to be censored, and that his moral compass was more important than any amount of money. Tyra Banks took over hosting duties, but she left after just 2 seasons. Number 3. Marcelito Pomoy is robbed of the Golden Buzzer. This previous Pilipinas Got Talent winner appeared in Season 2 of the US Champions version in a bid to hold on to his crown.
I pray you'll be alright.
He was a fan favorite, so audiences were shocked when Howie Mandel opted not to push the Golden Buzzer. To make matters worse, Simon Cowell then stole it so that Boogie Storm could advance straight to the finals. In the end, Pomoy finished in a very respectable 4th place. But that didn't change the fact that a large number of viewers remained upset about the Golden Buzzer debacle.
He just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody. This is a big opportunity for him. That's all. Thank you so much.
Needless to say, the whole ordeal caused one of the biggest outrages among audiences, with many unable to move past the blunder. Number 2. Jonathan Goodwin's act goes disastrously wrong. Escapologist Jonathan Goodwin had stunned and amazed audiences on both Britain's Got Talent and the American branch of the show.
Tonight I have something very special planned for you. In all the stunts in my book, this is the one my mum didn't want me to try.
He came back again for the AGT Extreme spin-off, but things went horribly wrong, as his trick ended in disaster during rehearsals. He was meant to free himself from a straitjacket while suspended high off the ground upside down with 2 vehicles flanking him. But he was gravely hurt when the cars crashed into each other and him. bursting into flames while he dropped to the ground.
Thank you to everyone who has reached out and sent their love and support. It literally has been a lifesaver.
Luckily, he was said to be responsive as he was transported to the hospital. He survived, but was left paralyzed from the waist down. Production was understandably halted for a time as a result.
In order to focus on the well-being of our crew, we will be temporarily pausing production. The health and safety of our cast and crew continue to be our priority.
Number 1. Gabrielle Union's departure. Union appeared on just one season of the talent competition show before her contract was terminated. She filed a complaint and spoke out about the show's toxic culture.
She was given a specific note many times throughout season 14 of America's Got Talent that her hair was too black, and that's a direct quote from multiple sources.
She talked about dealing with relentless criticism over her appearance and hair, Simon Cowell's indoor smoking, and racism from guest host Jay Leno.
One specific incident involves former late-night host Jay Leno reportedly making a racially insensitive joke in front of 4 other staffers.
This sparked a publicized falling out between Union and the producers. It also didn't help that her former co-stars initially invalidated her experience. Union is hardly the first or only person to call out the show's problematic behind-the-scenes behavior, but she did find herself at the center of numerous headlines.
NBC and the show's producers say the companies remain committed to ensuring a respectful workplace for all employees and take very seriously any questions about workplace culture.
Eventually, the matter was settled, with the actress and NBC releasing a joint statement. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.